So Andy, thanks for joining us again today. Just looking back at Saturday's match against Accrington Stanley, it just looked like everything went right on the day.
Yeah, I thought we'd done the basics really well, to be honest. I've been banging on about the lads not getting bored of doing the basics well. Putting the ball in the right areas, keeping pressure on the opposition, getting territory at the pitch, and being resolute and solid at the back. And we did that. You know, there was parts of the game we did it where there might have been another pass on, but we stuck to the plan, and I'm quite happy with that. How we sort of stayed like solid throughout the game, even when we was 2 and 3 goals up, we stuck to what we're good at, and that was the important thing. And look, I said it the other day, we could quite easily, or should have probably easily had the same result at Newport away, but we didn't, and that's the margins. But we certainly put a good performance in Saturday.
I was just going to say that actually the previous couple of games, more than enough chances to win those games, so presumably that's the exact response that you wanted.
Yeah, exactly that. I think, you know, we've had this shape now a little while. It's been successful for us. It suits the personnel of players we've got. But sometimes you don't get the results with it, and you kind of start questioning it, which is a dangerous thing to do as a manager, because then you go back to default, which I didn't want to do. And we've stayed with it. The lads have stayed with it. We've worked hard at it as well, by the way. We've done a lot of work on the training pitch. It doesn't just suddenly we just pick it on a Saturday and it happens. So when it comes together like that and we get the result like we did Saturday, it kind of just makes you feel that we're on the right path.
And just moving away from the men's first team, Sol Cader banging in the goals at Cray Wanderers on loan and scored again on Saturday. Must be someone you're keeping your eye on for the future.
Absolutely. Look, Sol had a really nasty injury, and like, I must remind everyone that he got his debut for me and scored on his debut, and he's a player I've got real sort of lot of time for, and he's got an exciting future ahead. I know from my experience of that injury that you know, you come back after a year out, you pretty much need another season of playing somewhere just to get your confidence back, and he's done that. And you know, we're thankful for Cray to letting him play, and all the other clubs that have took him on loan. And he looks like he's back to normal, banging in goals. So yeah, exciting pre-season for Sol ahead.
Full focus on Saturday then. How have the boys been in training this week?
Excellent. You know, I don't think I ever have any problem with them. You know, they're heads down and ready to go, grafting hard. They put some big numbers in there today. We're not taking our foot off the pedal, and we're going to make sure we finish as strong as we can. It's probably a really good game for us, and probably the right game we need. You know, going up to Port Vale to pit ourselves against the team that's top of the table is exactly really what we need at this stage, just to see where we're at. You know, and you know, just hopefully keep our sort of momentum going of what we're doing.
Looking back at the previous match against Port Vale, you referred to it on Saturday, but probably one of the best 0-0 draws that I've seen in recent times. A fantastic game of football.
I was just talking funny enough, to Grant Smith about, I think Connor Ripley was in goal that day. That was some performance he put in that day. It was unbelievable. We were just talking about that. I mean, that was really a performance he put in that day, and that was the difference of the result. So yeah, we need to. They've hit a big bit of form. And it'll be a different proposition going to their place. You know, it's a big ground, big pitch, a well-supported club with a manager that's got a lot of experience. So you know, it'll be a tough game for us.
And you've had some injuries to deal with recently, but players now coming back into the side and giving you decisions to make, which is, I guess, what you want.
Absolutely. You know, we've got players coming back from injury and sickness and illness, and my door keeps getting banged on. People coming in, kind of getting a team, kind of play. You know, so it's good. That's what we want, competition for places, and as long as it's fair competition, I want the lads to keep knocking on my door, trying to get in the team, and equally the boys in the team, they've got to keep performing. So everyone's pretty much near enough back now from injury.
And one of those who's come back into the side recently, Kamal Grant, you've put him in a right back position, which he seems to have adapted really well to, and unlucky not to score against Newport, and of course the fantastic cross for Ben Thompson's goal on Saturday.
Yeah, Kamal's been brilliant, you know, because he came in as a centre half, and we've sort of ended up playing him, you know, right side of centre half, and now he's gone to right back. And after he got sent off for Crewe, he kind of got, you know, left out for a couple of games. We had a little bit of a tricky time. And he's gone in at right back, and he's been faultless. Credit to Kamal. He hasn't moaned, he hasn't knocked on the door and said, "Look, I'm a centre half, I'm playing right back." I think he looks at it as an opportunity of adding another string to his bow. And credit to Kamal. He's a good professional, and he's been bang on it. So hopefully he can continue that form to the end of the season.
Just something to pick out off the pitch after the home games, particularly the players' engagement with the children and the young supporters is fantastic. And actually got asked on Saturday, how do you keep that going as a league club? But the players, they love it, don't they?
Yeah, I'm always waiting for him in the dressing room going mad, aren't I? I think they do it on purpose, just to wind me up. It's something I don't see actually, Matt. So apologies for that. I'm obviously in the dressing room. Yeah, I think it's nice. I think it's a nice thing, particularly with the younger fans, to make sure that they're engaged with the team. We try to keep it going. It's not always easy though when results are not going too well. I think the players will be less sort of generous with their time at that time, and I think hopefully the fans will understand that. But it's certainly what we want to do: create this connection with our supporters and our community. And we'll keep trying it, and we'll get it wrong some days, I'm sure. But overall, we want to make sure that we're accessible to all the supporters that come week in, week out.
And talking of supporters, the supporters coach for the Port Vale game sold out earlier this week. There'll be a good number travelling up there, and that support's always appreciated, isn't it?
It's brilliant. I mean, and you know what? They'll be really vocal. They're always so vocal. The away support, amazing. And the people that do the coaches, fantastic. Fair play to them. It doesn't go unnoticed by us. I always say that, and I probably think they think I just get it for the sake of it. I don't. The supporters go away. They're really important to us, and we need to keep growing those numbers like we do all around the club. So tell your mate, you want to come on away day, let's go to Port Vale.
Andy, thanks very much.
Thank you.